Well, our first guest is joining us from Salt Lake City, Mr. Richard Serber. He is the CEO of a company called SAKL Lunch Productions Incorporated. SAKL is their stock symbol. Richard, welcome to the show.
Good to be back again, Don.
Well, we're really glad to have you on now. Of course, we're initiating coverage of SAKL Lunch Productions. You describe yourself as an entertainment company with operations that include event management, film production, and distribution services. Can you give us a general overview of the company, please?
Yeah, our predominant focus right now is the event management production. So some of the events that we're hosting currently are Slide the City, which is a 1,000-foot slide that runs down usually a main thoroughfare in major cities actually throughout the world. We host a lot of those events corporately, and we also have a franchise system both domestically in Canada and in international markets as far away as Hong Kong and Tokyo. Another event that we're hosting is called the Lantern Fest, and we're running those predominantly corporately. And more recently, we brought on a couple of additional events. One's called Color Me Rad, and again, we do it's a 5K color run. It's a fun run, not timed. Domestically, we're doing a lot of those in-house. And then we also have franchises in Canada and throughout Europe. And then the last event that we're working on is called the Dirty Dash, which is a mud run that's filled with obstacles, and it's generally around a 5K distance as well. And then in addition, we do production services for our own account, and then production services for other film companies, along with providing them with distribution services.
Well, your Slide the City events are an amazing thing to see. Tell us about their success.
Well, I mean, we were recently on Times Square on the Today Show, so that was a pretty big success. We've had as many as I believe 2 million hits on our webpage in a single day, and a lot of the videos we've done have blown up and gone viral on YouTube, and we have, I think, as many as 80 corporate-run events on the schedule for next year. We just pretty much closed out the season here domestically because we're coming into the winter months, but what we'll be turning on are some of the franchisees. We have a franchisee as far away as South Africa and Australia as well. So of course, you know, they're coming into the summer season now, so it's going to be peak season for the southern hemisphere. We also just sold a franchise system to Colombia, you know, which is a South American country, and we're looking to expand further from there.
Well, Richard, you sent us a great montage of the various events you described. Let's take a look at that now.
Bright lights, flashing alarms, I'm gonna set them off. Shake, shake the silhouettes until I wake them up. I can't stop now. It's time to break out. Oh, 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 it's all I want. Yeah, all I want is to find you. Oh, 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 it's all I want. I'm on the run, wherever you want. Bright lights, flashing alarms, I'm gonna set them off. Oh, 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 it's all I want. Yeah, all I want is to find you. Oh, oh, it's all I want. I'm on the run, wherever you want.
I like your messy hair. I like the clothes you wear. I like the way you sing and when you dance with me. I don't know why.
Wow, those events look like a lot of fun, happy people, smiles everywhere. Now, the company recently announced an acquisition of a company called Springbok Holdings, LLC. Can you give us any details?
Yeah, Springbok is the company that owns the Color Me Rad runs, and then also the Dirty Dash, which I mentioned earlier. In addition, Springbok bought the rights to open up markets for our Slide the City event into as many as 60 cities. So when we bought Springbok under SAKL Lunch Productions, we got all of those markets back for our Slide the City. So I think at June 30th, the financials they provided us showed that they had brought in over $6 million in revenues, and in the prior year they had grossed as much as $12 million in revenues. At that June 30th cutoff this year, they were showing net profits, I think close to around $1.2 million. So we're really teed up coming into 2016 to have a tremendously successful year. With the acquisition of Springbok and our existing operations, our forecasts are showing that we're going to come in realistically probably around that $10 million mark as far as revenues go, and I'm hoping to see a net profit as well. And I think the thing that's so exciting about that is it's our first year worth of full operations with Slide the City.
Well, Richard, why is this a good time right now for people to take a closer look at SAKL Lunch Productions?
Well, I mean, we're coming off of a second quarter where we did $2.5 million in revenues. We have deferred revenues sitting there at 1.8. We're going to be recognizing all of those in the third quarter. We're going to have a stellar third quarter report coming out. This is going to be the best year in the history of SAKL Lunch Productions. The way it looks right now, we're only trading around a penny and a half as of today. We have a low float, and we're doing an excellent job at growing this business, and we're in some very innovative markets, and we're doing things that no one else is doing in the event market, which is a multi-billion-dollar market.
SAKL Lunch Productions Incorporated, SAKL is their stock symbol. As I mentioned, we've initiated coverage of the company. Looking forward to more updates from you, Richard. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Don.